What's up, home inspection gang? All right, that was lame. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, just gonna cover this stucco building real quick. Went inside, it's pretty new. It's like a 2016 home. Nothing really to show you on the inside, but let's cover some of the outside. So when looking at a stucco property, you wanna focus on some of the transition points. So you want to focus on areas like this where you can see area where water can penetrate around the balcony areas, and where water can drain too as well. So you want to focus on these areas. So you can see that we have a nice weep screed. You don't really see any color or discoloration where water has been getting behind the wall and shedding. So you might see like a rust color here if this balcony was leaking over the past 6 or 7 years, and we're not seeing that, which is nice. You can see where they have done some previous repairs here with the stucco where they had some cracking. That's what stucco does, especially in the Houston, Texas area. And oh look, you can see they have done some sort of previous inspection here on this transition point. These transition points are the areas that are most prone to water, because you can see there's a lot of water that can travel down this wall here, come across this metal flashing piece, and if water would to make it, it'd probably come in right over here and leak behind the wall, cause some cracking and swelling. But you can see someone has tested the stucco here too as well. I'd say one of the easiest ways, if you're not doing an intrusive test with stucco, is you would just come down here to the base and you would feel underneath. Here we go. You feel underneath, you'd see the backer board, the weep screed, and you'd feel the wood here. And I'm not feeling any rot or anything like that. Looking at the property a little closer, you can see some patch marks here. And this is common areas where drilling has taken place, where they have tested the stucco for moisture. So let's back up even further. We're not really seeing any swelling or cracking underneath the windows, which is a good sign. And the same spot that you'd see the weep screed here, where you don't see any rust color, look around under the balcony underneath these windows. We're not seeing any water stains or any marks around the weep screed, so it looks like it's performing. It looks like it's pretty watertight. No evidence of water intrusion in these areas. A few other things to look at. You can see that they've been keeping up with the maintenance. They resealed all of the fixtures around the property here, the penetration points, I mean, and we don't really see anything. We have really good clearance from the ground. Look, we have a we've screed over here too. No evidence of water coming out over here. They have a balcony and a place for the water to drain. And if you were to test the stucco, you would want to test it around here. Oh, look, they did. Look, there's a test spot right there too. Oh, look, there's a test spot right there. So whoever did this stucco inspection right before us, looks like they tested it in some good areas and they didn't rip down the wall. So I guess it might be good. We don't have access to those reports, but it is a good sign that they didn't tear down the wall after the inspection or recommend for anything. We weren't informed of anything like that, but we can always ask questions. But so far, the stucco looks pretty good, which is kind of rare in Houston. On the back side of the property here, you can start to see some of the hardy plank or fiber cement board, whatever you want to call it, is starting to pull loose in some areas. So right here, here. I'll look up a little higher. You can see it here. It is a pretty easy repair, but it's more of annoying. You need to hire the labor, really tall ladder to get in there to re-secure the fiber cement board, but you want to do that. These buildings eat a lot of wind. You know, high wind, the wind's even coming from this direction right there, and it can get up behind the fiber cement, and it's not really protecting the property well enough, and it will pull your siding off the wall with some high winds. So we definitely want to address that. So that is a pretty clean property, and let's head down the street, street-ish. It's like 15 minutes down the road to see what Inspector Josh Donahoe's doing. A little bit older property, 1960s one, and that's typically where we find some good stuff. So hopefully I can get some content there for you. The previous video, my mic was kind of broken, or it wasn't working well enough. So I'm trying to figure out a better solution where I can capture better audio with this iPhone camera. So I have one of the new iPhone 13 Pros, and I can't seem to get a good audio device for it. But anyways, let's keep moving on. Okay, we made it to this 1960s home. Walked through the interior, didn't really find much. It's a pretty clean house. Got this little 2 and 12 roof, really easy to walk on. Let me show you what I found. In our area, squirrels really like to chew up on these lead jacks. I'm not really seeing anything. You got a little bit of split there, so it just needs to be painted and caulked up a little bit. Pretty common find on these older homes. But coming over here, I noticed there was a small dip in this porch area, and I want to be careful with this, but if you can hear that, it's rotted through, and there is a fastener pulled up over here. Not that that has anything to do with that, but we do have a roof leak in this area, so easy repair. They'll just pull back the shingles, replace the decking, and reset it. They'll probably have to reset this flashing over here. My guess is there's flashing is rusted through from old age. Texas Real Estate Commission requires us to document prior repairs. Even though this is performing, we still have to let them know that they have prior repairs done in this area. And you can start to see where the squirrels started eating on this just a little bit. Hasn't caused enough damage to that lead jack, and it looks like they came through and did some caulking and whatnot. A good place to find prior hail damage is on the top of these flues, and I don't see anything, so that's nice. You always want to check out the electrical masts, look below them too as well. This is a common place for leaks. Didn't find anything today. Another common call out, we're going to call this out on most older homes. Our biggest concern is the chimney leaking or not, right? But the cap has a little bit of age on it, has been improved in the past, which is nice, but we need a cricket on our fireplace. But as a home inspector, I'm required to call out that cricket not being in place behind the fireplace, but I wouldn't stress about it whenever I'm going over the report with the client. I'd be like, hey, this house has been built like this since the 60s and it hasn't leaked yet. It's older than I am. So it's like one of those things where it's like, yes, it's not the current code, but it's performing. You know, it's performing. The roof is performing. So I wouldn't go and change things unless you had to replace the whole roof. Whenever you have a lot of trees in the area, like this and like this, you always want to pay special close attention to the area on the roof. Sometimes some of the shingles can be pulled loose or damaged. I am not seeing that today, which is nice. So pretty easy roof inspection. The roof definitely needs some repairs done. Pretty easy repair. You could probably find a company to come out to do that anywhere between $500 to $1,500 to do a quick repair. The $1,500 might be like resealing the whole roof structure. Most roof companies don't like to come out and just repair one little spot anymore because it costs so much money to pay people these days, really. Okay, so we noticed 2 other things on this property. And this, one of the first thing is some home inspectors would see this, especially newer home inspectors, and they would call out foundation issues. And this isn't, just an older home, and it had a little bit of movement. So let me show that to you. So right here you can see where the window is separated, and we have a little bit of deflection here. And you can see the deflection crack, it goes down all the way, and it didn't really cut through the beam at all. So the first thing is you want to try to think about, well, why did that crack happen? Well, look how big this wall is, right? It's really, really big. And there is not one expansion joint across the whole property. So the brick can't expand and contract at all. Two, also look at the drainage. It's really flat. You can see where water pools in this area. And as we walk around, let me show you around the corner over here. As we walk around over here, let me show this to you. It's kind of flat-ish over here too as well. So we got flatness over here. So water is hanging out in this area. So you have a really long piece of the structure. You saw that part of the roof that I was on where the roof was really long. No expansion joints. A lot of water settling in this area. And whenever that happens, your property fluctuates. It's going to bend. It's going to flex. Your foundations are actually built to flex like that. And boom, you get a deflection crack and a little bit of cracking. The best thing you can do is probably rock this area, added some drains to let the water move away from the property, and that will prevent some flexing in the property. One other quick find that I want to show you, which this is good. A lot of properties in the Houston area or Texas, South Texas or North Texas, I guess, has a lot of termites, and this house has had a preventative treatment. So it's good if the house has had treatment in the past. So if you see these little plugs right here, every few feet, right here and right here, you also have a high soil line in this area, pretty high, and a high soil line over here, which is going to be common in older properties. So if you have that, you have conducive conditions for termites, which is common. We're going to recommend for a preventative treatment if you have that, because it's going to be hard to remove the soil in that area. I mean, you could, but these older homes sink, and then your home just becomes more prone to have termites. So it has had a previous termite treatment. We just want to try to figure out when and who's managing it, who's maintaining it, so you know why they got it done, or it could have just been preventative. So if you see that, it's always good to recommend to your clients, or we recommend to our clients, to get a hold of that paperwork to figure out more about why there was a treatment. But it's good that it's been treated because they've been taking care of the property. So that's nice. So don't freak out if the home's had termites, as long as they've treated it and taken care of it. Termites typically move pretty slow. Last thing I want to take a note of is the whole property, all of the brick. You can see all the brick here has been painted. And as a home inspector, you want to make sure that you document that the property's been painted, because this actually can limit a lot of the things that we can see, and they can hide defects, such as deflection cracks, or the property has been movement. So they can really point those cracks, paint over it, and then they can really hide anything. Not that these people did that, but it is a defect. And we actually sell our comments on homeiw.com, and you can purchase that, and you can have that verbiage verbatim of how we write that up. That was a little sloppy sales pitch, and I almost fell over. But anyways, if you like these types of videos, please hit that like and subscribe button, and catch us on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.